Hello, and welcome to video number 5 of the series We're All in This Together. This is a collaboration between Seniors Action Quebec and the English Language Arts Network. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about staying safe online. Let's get to it. Have you ever received an email or a message in one of your social media accounts, for example, on Messenger or Facebook, asking you a question and then providing you with a link? Well, if you have, you're not alone. I have also received those. And what is the relevance of not clicking on links? Basically, not clicking on links is at the core of our online safety. And that's why I want to talk about the most commonly used tactics to get us to click on links. The first one is curiosity. And this is when we see things as, is it you on this video? And this is just the latest scam that we see most often in Messenger. So we receive a message saying, is it you on this video? And then a link. And the tricky part is that most often than not, this message is coming from one of our contacts. And why is it coming from one of our contacts? Well, it's because most probably they received the message or a similar message, they click on it, and now their account is being hacked. So now whoever hacked their account is blasting the same messages to all the contacts, and that's why I am receiving this message. And that's why it doesn't matter who sent the message to us, we should always be careful. It doesn't matter if it's from a person we know or not. Another common games I see online are on Facebook. Those are the quizzes. So I'm gonna just check on Facebook. This is one of the quizzes that I'm talking about. Let's check what happens when I play, and I'm only going to tap today to show you what happens. So I tap on play. It says that the company that makes these quizzes will receive this profile's name. So they will receive my name, my profile picture, my preferred language. And on Facebook, my friends and fellow players can see my gaming activity. So I'm not gonna click on play this game. Of course, it's fun, but in exchange of that, we are giving some of our information. And actually, with some of these games, we also give all of our contact list. So if you think about it, once you play this game, they have your name, your profile picture, and they also have the names of all your contacts. For this game in particular, there is an X here at the top left, so we can quit there. If I don't see an X or how to get out of here, I can simply click here on the home button. I'm gonna press twice, and it's gonna take me where all my applications are open. And from here, I can simply close the application by swiping up. So that was the first category. Now let's move on to tactic number 2. And that one is hope. I think it's still common to receive once in a while an email that says,
"Hey, I got some great news.
I won the lottery and I am giving away $10,000 to everybody that replies to this email," or something like that. So if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So how do we deal with those emails? It's very important that we report and that we also talk to our friends about it, because the more we all know about these kind of scams, the more secure we all are. We got curiosity and hope covered. And now the third category, fear. What happens when we feel fear? We act out of impulse. And that is exactly what they want us to do. Just react. In this case, I received an email this past week, and I'm going to show you exactly what it says. It's claiming to be coming from the IT department of my company or my workplace. But of course, the first thing that looks fishy is that after the email address they add is this company that I don't know about, is at successful.org. If this email will be coming from my company, it will say at mycompany.com or .ca. So it will have the domain of my company. So it's addressed to me, but the email from my company is telling me, attention, this email originates from outside this company. And then it says, hello, Monica. This message is to inform you that your email account is in violation of our password compliance standards. And they have this in bold to prevent the account from being locked. So they are warning me. You must change the password within 24 hours. And then they are saying, click here to change your password. But if you see, this is not a link that I can see. So basically, they just put a word there. So while they put a sentence, click here to change your password. And then they embedded the link on that sentence. So if I click on that sentence, it's going to bring me to the link that they want. What will have happened if I clicked on that link? They were going to redirect me to a fake page. And what they will get in return is my username and my password. When they get a legitimate password, they log in into my account. So they will pretend to be me, and then they will start asking for things. So those are the tactics that they use to get us to click on links or to get us to do something. But now let's see what steps we can take to protect ourselves. And there are 4 very easy steps that we can take. The first step that by now you probably guess is click on no links whatsoever. No matter if it's somebody that you know that sent it, no matter where it's coming from, they might be pretending to be your company, the company that you work for. They might be pretending to be Microsoft or Apple or Facebook or Outlook. So no matter who they are pretending to be, we should always double check and triple check if it's really a legitimate email. And of course, do not download anything that comes on that email or that message or that link. So why is it dangerous to click on links? One, redirect us to a web page where we are signing or logging in. So we will enter our username and our password. And that way they get our passwords, and that's how they can hack diverse accounts. The second thing that will happen when we click on links is that we might be downloading software into our devices, into our computer, that it's called malware or virus or spyware. Malware is any software intentionally designed to cause disruption to a computer, server, client, or computer network, leak private information, gain unauthorized access to information or systems, deprive users to information, or which unknowingly interferes with the user's computer security and privacy. So that's why it's very important not to click on links and not downloading things from unknown sources. The second step, and this is really important, is to keep our devices updated. When I mean updated, I mean the operating system. On the iPad, it's called the iPad OS. So let's go and do that right now. Let's go check if we are running on the latest OS or not. So for that, we are gonna go to settings, and here on general, and now here the second option to the right is called software update. So we're gonna click on that one. And as you can see here, I have automatic updates set to on. And when I click on this on, what it means is that this iPad is going to download the iPad OS updates automatically, and it's also going to install the iPad OS updates. So it says here automatically install software updates overnight after they have been downloaded. You will receive a notification before updates are installed. Your iPad must be charging and connected to Wi-Fi to complete the update. For now, as you can see, I am on the latest iPad OS, which is iPad OS 15.5 as of today. If it's not up to date, it's going to tell you here that there is a newer release or a newer update available, and then you can click on do the update at that point. So just as a general rule, always keep your iPad and any other device at the latest software. The third step is to download apps or new apps to your iPad only through the App Store. Although Apple has taken some security steps, but always the safest apps will come from the App Store. So let's see what Mac is saying about that. On Mac, many apps are obtained from the App Store, but Mac users also download and use apps from the internet. To safely support internet downloading, macOS layers additional controls. First, by default in macOS 10.15 or later, all Mac apps needed to be notarized by Apple to launch. This requirement helps to ensure that these apps are free of known malware, without requiring that the apps be provided through the App Store. In addition, macOS includes state-of-the-art antivirus protection to block and, if necessary, remove malware. So this is a statement that I found from Apple when I was looking for the security of my iPad. As much as these companies like Apple and Microsoft and all of these big companies are trying to stay on top of virus and malware and spyware, also on the other side, the hackers are always trying to look for new ways to get into our devices and to get our data. So that's why we should always proceed with caution. And in that case, it's even safer if we download all our new apps from the App Store. We are going to check how to download an app in a few minutes. But first of all, I want to talk to you about the first step that we can take to stay safe online. And that is passwords. So our passwords need to be strong and need to be unique. And to really understand what a strong password is, I think the best idea is to go on a website and check our passwords. So for this example, I already saved this website on my favorites. And this is a password checker. Your password is not safe if it can be brute forced or found in a database of leaked passwords. Scammers don't only attack individuals like you and me, they also attack companies and they take advantage of the vulnerability of big companies. So sometimes our emails or our passwords are leaked not by something that we did, but by vulnerabilities found on bigger companies. They are saying here, we do not collect or store passwords. But even with that warning, I will be extra cautious. I am not going to test one of my real passwords. So yellow 345. And if you see, this is a very weak password. And what it's telling us right here is that a password change is long overdue. So if you have a password that looks like this, that is just a common word and then a string of numbers, bad news. Frequently used words and this password appear 363 times in a database of leaked passwords. Your passwords could be cracked faster than you can say oops. So let's continue with this password and let's try to make it a little bit more secure. I have 9 characters in this password and I have letters and numbers. So now you can easily see that this minimum or that 8-character password is no longer safe. So we should definitely go higher than that. We can also put special characters, and we should definitely throw in here some uppercase letter. Let's do uppercase L, and then let's do O, yellow, and then let's throw a special character, exclamation sign, and then 3, 4, then I'm gonna put a dot. See, the line is already changing. It's getting into the yellows. Let's see what it says. Time for a password change. This password is easily crackable, frequently used words, but at least this password as we have it now, it does not appear in any databases of leaked passwords. So that is a good thing. But this password can be cracked faster than the time it takes to get back from a short walk. Now let's throw here a dot. Let's say a 9 dash capital B for no reason to B, and then let's, for example, throw the word fun, and that will also make it for a nice password. It will take 49 centuries to crack this password by brute force. But just beware that computers are always improving, and a password that today will take 49 centuries to crack, maybe in a month or two, that is not the case anymore, because the computers are getting better and faster and smarter. It doesn't mean that because this password is safe today, it will be safe in 6 months or in a year or even less in 10 years. And that is one of the reasons that we should change our passwords often. And when I say often, is at least every 6 months. But of course, I acknowledge that this will be a very difficult password to remember. So because all our passwords should be strong, they should be long, definitely much longer than 8 characters, and they should be also unique. And that's why if we continue scrolling down, they are recommending to try a password manager. So what is a password manager?
Yeah? What is it?
Because our passwords have to be long and complex, that makes it very hard to remember. One of the things that I hear most often recommended is a password manager. But definitely if you have any other way to maintain unique passwords for all of your account, by all means use that way. But if you don't have a way, a password manager might be a solution for us. I'm gonna search for best password managers. This is the article that I was looking for. Is by PC Magazine. It's the best password managers for 2022. But of course, you are welcome to search other articles that you find. We can also see some related password manager picks, and they have also the best free password manager. So let's check first this one. So there is a review. So the review is 4.5 out of 5. It says it's outstanding. It gives us a little bit more information, and of course we can read more pros and cons. Then we have Soho Vault. It's also in the outstanding category. Then we have Bitwarden, which again says is excellent. Anyway, you get the hang of it. Let's go check the best free password managers. And I'm just clicking on it and it's taking me to this new page. So these are the 8 top picks. The Log Me Once is there. Again, the Bitwarden is there, because it has a free tier but also a paid one, so we can read more about it. The Pass Hub is good, and so on and so forth. It's good that we dig more into it, and maybe we read more reviews before we decide on one. So now let's go check, as promised, an app on the App Store. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm just gonna click on the home button and going to the App Store. Now let's check for password managers. Some of these are gonna look familiar because we already read about them. So we have 1Password, we have a Keeper Password Manager, there is a Bitwarden Norton Password Manager, and they also have reviews here. So for example, for Bitwarden, we can see that has 5-star reviews. Let's just go and check more about this 1Password. And to do that, I just click where it says 1Password. I don't click where it says get, so I'm just gonna click there. And here I can read the ratings. Over 3,000 people that rated this app. It has awards and it tells a little bit more about it. 1Password remembers all your passwords for you and keeps them safe and secure behind the one password that only you know. That is going to be your main or your master password that is going to allow you or grant you entry to the password manager. So definitely I will read some of these reviews before making my decision. Another website that I want to show you is from the government of Canada, and I found really interesting information there. So let's go check it out. Canada Anti-Fraud Center. So I went to the Canada government webpage, and from there I found this link. And of course there is a lot of information. So this is just to show you what we have here. I'm gonna put also the link to this website on the description, so look for it. But if you don't want to click on any links, you can go by yourself into the Canada government website and then search for scams and find it there directly. So like this, we can read it better. So here we have a list of scams, A to Z, scams by medium, and then how to protect ourselves. So let's quickly go to scams by medium. This list is intended as a navigational aid, not as a comprehensive or official list of all scams affecting Canadians. So I'm going to go to the first one in email and text scams, and I'm going to click on emergency scam. And this is, as I was telling you, in the category of fear. So let's see what the Canada government website says. Emergency scams prey on your fears of a loved one being hurt or in trouble, or also our fear of losing our accounts or losing our contacts or losing our pictures. So scammers claim to be someone you know and tell you they need money immediately. Scenarios may include needing bail money because they've been arrested, being in a car accident, and trouble returning from a foreign country. Although scammers can claim to be any member of the family, aunt, uncle, husband, wife, or friend, grandparents may be particularly vulnerable. The scammer pretends to be their grandchild and begs the grandparents not to tell their parents that they're in trouble. As a result, the grandparent doesn't find out until they've sent the money was not the person who asked for help. So this is a list of scams. So go and check some of the other scams. Now I'm gonna click back and we're gonna go to this section about protect yourself, and it's the things that we have been saying throughout this video. So on this page, how can we protect ourselves? They have recommendations for individuals and for businesses. For individuals, and I'm not gonna go very deep into all of this because you can read, and actually we should read all of this information on our own and send this website to our friends and family. So they're recommending, don't be afraid to say no. And actually, if you receive an email from one of these scammers, just cut the conversation and block them or report them as phishing. I think these apply more when it's somebody on the phone. So just say no, hang up, or if it's in person, don't be afraid to say no. I think this is a very good advice. Do your research. And that's what I'm saying also regarding, for example, a password manager or any app that we are thinking of getting. We should do our research and see if it's really of value to us. And definitely when it's a scam, we should do our research. Don't give out any personal information. This is very important. So check out video number 4 if you want to see how to make your information on Facebook private so that only you can see it. But it applies to all other social media platforms, to your email. Just protect your personal information. We should always do that. Beware of upfront fees. Protect your computer, and that's what we have been doing with all of the steps that we talk about today. Be careful who you share images with, and that applies not only when we send images by email, but also what we share in social media. And protect our online accounts. And that is where a good password comes in, and also the multi-factor authentication. So definitely come here and check this link. I think this is a very good resource to have and to know where to find it. And speaking of protecting our devices, let's go and protect our iPad when it's locked. So let's change the view here. And right now my iPad is unlocked, but what happens if I lock it? So right now it's locked, but even if it's locked, I can still see some things. For example, I can see the today view. So if you have important notes here or things that are visible, this can be a vulnerability. I don't have many widgets here in the today view, but definitely you should know what do you have here that can be a security threat. We also have access to the control center. So just think about it. What do we have here that it can be unsafe for me if my iPad is locked, but I leave it lying around and then somebody gets access to it. So right now I'm going to unlock it. So I'm going to go to settings. And now here I'm going to go all the way down to Touch ID and passcode. And this passcode should also be very strong.
What's your password?
Password.
Although that is very convenient, it should not be something like that. And these are the settings that we should change. So right now in this section, it says allow access when locked. So I am basically allowing access to everything. I am allowing access to the today view. So that's why I can swipe and I can get access to those widgets. I have access to the notification center, to control center, home control, return missed calls, etc. So that means my iPad is not as secure as it could be, because even if it's locked and I left it somewhere, somebody can still have access to those parts of my iPad. So we can disable all of these. So by touching on each of these ones is going to disable it. So now I disable all of them. And now when my iPad is locked, there are no access to the today view, notification center, control center, etc. Another setting that I did turn on is the one that is called erase data. And this one will erase all data on this iPad after 10 failed passcode attempts. But we want to have this setting on in case this device gets lost or misplaced or stolen. So if somebody is trying to unlock our iPad, of course they're gonna try the usual combinations, but if they have 10 failed attempts, all the data is gonna be deleted on this device. I do make mistakes when I enter my passcode, but it has never been more than 10 times. So I think we covered everything for today. Thank you very much for following along. As usual, if you have any comments or questions, don't hesitate to leave them below this video. And I'll see you next time.